Louis Malle, the descendant of a French nobleman who made a fortune in beet sugar during the Napoleonic Wars, created films that explore life and its meaning. Malle's family discouraged his early interest in film, but in 1950 allowed him to enter the Institute of Advanced Cinematographic Studies in Paris. Viaggio Celebrity presents Top 10 Louis Malle films. Number 10. Pretty Baby, 1978. In 1917, in the red light district Storyville, New Orleans, the prostitute Hattie lives with her 12-year-old daughter Violet in the fancy brothel of Madame Nell, where she works. Photographer Ernst has an attraction to Hallie and Violet, and he is an habitué of the whorehouse. One day, Madame Nell auctions Violet's virginity, and the winner pays the fortune of $400 to spend the night with the girl. Then Hattie marries a wealthy client and moves to St. Louis, leaving Violet in the brothel alone. Violet decides to marry Ernst, and she moves to his house, until the day that Hattie, who has overcome her past, comes to Ernst's house with the intention to take Violet with her. Number 9. Black Moon, 1975. In a dystopian future, a mid-teen named Lily is trying to escape the bloodshed associated with the war between the sexes. She barely getting away from a group of men that have just assassinated a group of women. Lily is able to take fantasy refuge on a farmhouse property, which is inhabited by, among others, an old bedridden woman who speaks largely in some foreign tongue, speaks to others over wireless radio, has a rat named Humphrey as a friend, and receives her nourishment in an unconventional manner for a person her age. A non-speaking brother and sister, both also named Lily, who she assumes are the bedridden woman's children, and the brother who communicate through touch. A group of naked children, shepherd, and a talking unicorn. Although Lily's relationship with the others are not always in harmony, especially with the elderly woman, she tries to find her rightful place there in light of the alternative. Number 8. Vania on 42nd Street, 1994. In New York, the cast of Anton Chekhov's Uncle Vanya rehearsed the play in a dilapidated theater on the 42nd Street. The arrogant and selfish professor Serebryakov is an elderly intellectual married with his gorgeous and younger second wife Yelena, that feels trapped in a prison with her marriage. They live in a farm that supports their lifestyle, with the professor Serebryakov, brother-in-law from the first marriage Vanya, who managed the family business with professor's daughter from his last marriage Sonia, a plain singer young woman and Vanya's mother. The local doctor Astro visits the family every day since he is in love with Yelena. One day, Sonia confides to Yelena that she has an unrequited love for Dr. Astro. When Professor Serebryakov discloses his intention of selling the real estate, there is a crisis in the family. Number 7. Zazi La Metro, 1960. With her mother away for the weekend, the opinionated, brash and precocious 10-year-old country girl, Zazie, is entrusted to her artistic Parisian uncle Gabriel. More than anything in the world, Zazie wants to ride the busy metro. However, today of all days, the subway is shut down by a strike. Now, as Gabriel struggles to give Zazie a guided tour, the fearless child sets out to explore the picturesque and bustling metropolis, striking up an acquaintance with many interesting characters, and in the process cause chaos in the heart of the city. Do we all have equal right to liberty and anarchy? The original novel, written in 1959 by Raymond Quinn, was ranked number 36 in the list of the 100 books of the 20th century, according to a poll conducted in the spring of 1999 by the French retailer Fnac and the Paris newspaper Le Monde. Number 6. The Fire Within, 1963. Life has become unbearably painful for Alo, who is in his early 30s. He once used alcohol to dull the pain. His estranged wife in New York has paid for a cure at a clinic in Versailles and sends an emissary, one of the many women he has known, to see how Allo is. She sees only the surface, as does his doctor, who say it's time for Allo to leave the clinic. He goes to Paris the next morning and has lunch with old friends, a rendezvous in a cafe, and is invited to a dinner party. With Allo make a connection that will change his mind about ending it all. For the first 2 days, film was done in color. However, director Louis Malle realized that this was a distraction from the story, so he decided to film in black and white. Number 5. Mama of the Heart, 1971. This is a jolly coming-of-age story about a 14-year-old boy named Louis Chevalier who is growing up in bourgeois surrounding in Dijon, France. This is France in the mid-1950s rather than America in the 1990s. Thus, Louis is unharmed by events which would irreparably shatter the self-esteem of a modern American adolescent. He gets drunk, he smokes, he has sex, he is murdered by his mother. He is ignored by his father, a priest makes a pass at him, he gets rheumatoid fever, etc. There's enough scandalous behavior in this film to make 100 made-for-TV movies, and yet this is a very happy and oddly innocent tale. Writer-director Louis Malle based many aspects of the protagonist Louis' life on his own experiences growing up. These include his love-obsessed curiosity about literature, the tyranny of his two older brothers who try to introduce him to sex, and having a heart mama. However, Malle grew up in the 1930s and 40s, not the 50s as Louis does. Number 4. Atlantic City, 1980. Dreams. Becoming an Atlantic City croupier will help Sally realize her dream of going to Monte Carlo, a symbol of the glamorous life that has been awaiting her since escaping from Saskatchewan a decade ago. Lou dreams that he was a great mobster in the old days. Grace came to Atlantic City for a Betty Grable look-alike contest and stayed to become the wife of a mobster. A brief visit to Atlantic City by Sally's estranged husband will change the course of the lives of Sally and Lou. It was widely believed that Burt Lancaster would have won the Oscar for his performance in this film, were it not for Jane Fonda's aggressive campaign to win the award for her father Henry Fonda's final film performance on Golden Pond. Number 3. My Dinner with Andrew, 1981. Two old friends meet for dinner. As one tells anecdotes detailing his experiences, the other notices their differing worldviews. Wallace Shawn and Andrew Gregory, apparently playing themselves, share their lives over the course of an evening meal at a restaurant. Gregory, a theatre director from New York, is the more talkative of the pair. He relates to Shawn his tales of dropping out, traveling around the world and experiencing the variety of ways people live, such as a monk who could balance his entire weight on his fingertips. Shawn listens avidly, but questions the value of Gregory's seeming abandonment of the pragmatic aspect of life. Contrary to popular belief, Gregory and Shawn have said they are not playing themselves in the film and are merely playing characters with their own names. When asked about it, they said if the opportunity ever came to remake the film, they would switch roles. Number 2. Au revoir les enfants, 1987. In 1944, upper-class boy Julian Quentin and his brother Francois traveled to Catholic boarding school in the countryside after vacations. Julian is a leader and good student, and when the new student Jean Bonnet arrives in the school, they have friction in their relationship. However, Julian learns to respect Jean and discovers that he is Jewish and the priests are hiding him from the Nazis. They become best friends and Julian keeps the secret. When the priest Jean discovers that the servant Joseph is stealing supply from the school to sell in the black market, he fires the youth. Sooner, the Gestapo arrive at school to investigate the student and the priests that run and work in the boarding school. Before he was a director, Quentin Tarantino worked in a video store. He called this movie the Reservoir film because he couldn't pronounce the title. Number 1. Elevator to the Gallows, 1958. Julian Tavernier works in the offices of a powerful arms dealer and is having an affair with his boss wife Florence. The pair plan to murder her husband and make it appear to have been suicide. Unfortunately, their neat plan doesn't turn out so, with one problem after another befalling them, ultimately proving the old adage, everyone ultimately gets their just desserts. Louis Malle shot his lead actress Jane Mogo in close-up and natural light and often without makeup. Jane Mogo, an icon of French film, had never been seen like this before, to the extent that lab technicians reportedly appalled at how unflatteringly she was photographed, refuses to process the film. Once they were persuaded to, however, it soon became clear that Malle had captured every nuance of Jane Mogo's performance.